Greetings, everyone. My name is Mursalata Muhammad, and I am going to be your instructor this summer for the next 7 weeks. You, me, and everyone else in class will be studying popular literature. This is English 242, Section 8104 for summer 2020. So, you decided to take a class during COVID-19 time. Well, we are going to work through this interesting new normal together. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm going to try to keep this orientation video brief, like under 10 minutes, so wish me luck. I've been teaching at the college for 18, 19 years now. Don't often get to teach literature courses because as a community college, our English department focuses on first year writing. You know, people come, they transfer over, so they tend to have to take freshman writing or first semester writing 1 and 2. So that's what we do most of the time in the English department. So having the opportunity to teach a 200 level literature course, I'm happy about it. So I wish you all well, and you'll learn more about me as we go on. Let's turn our attention to the Blackboard course. So if you looked at this course last week when it was open for a preview, you will find that as we start the semester officially, there's a few differences. So you want to pay attention to those differences. When you log on to Blackboard, you're going to come into the announcements page. Once you get to know your way around, you might want to start clicking on other things, but to get to the assignments, you want to go to assignments and start here. The course content, this is the main menu on our left side, and I do my best to keep this in alphabetical order for course contents. So this will get you around different areas. Then we have resources. As the semester goes, I may add different resources here, but this is what we have for now. You can't really hurt anything, so click around, just pay attention so you know where you need to be so you don't get lost. All right, so we're gonna go into assignments and start here. This is week 1. You will see I'm gonna shut this menu over here. So once you're inside the assignments area, you will see the weekly folders. So you have a little bit of information going forward, but you can't expect the contents in each of these folders to be available until the week before. So I've given you this little reminder that content in this folder will be available basically the Sunday before the Monday start date. That's mainly because I need to keep people from zooming ahead and posting things and getting ahead of the course and each other, because we are still one course. So this is not a self-paced class. There are deadlines, there are things you have to work together with your classmates with. So that may be a shocker for some of you, but we just need to get adjusted to that idea. Additionally, I want you to keep in mind that when you can work ahead because you have access to the syllabus, but you can't necessarily post things. Is week 1, you can't skip to week 5 and post things already because you just can't. I'm gonna go inside of the current week. I'm gonna actually go back to the weekly content and talk a little bit about what's here. So on the first page of our weekly assignments, you will see a what to know. And basically I've taken content from the syllabus, like what unit we're on, what weeks we are likely to be spending on that unit content. So you'll see that information. You will see the same information often repeated because I'm trying to just keep everyone on the same track. It's from the syllabus, and then you'll see it here on Blackboard. So I'm gonna go inside week 1. You will find a welcome to the week. And again, you'll see the unit we're working on, and then you'll also see the unit learning outcomes. So there are 8 student learning outcomes that are listed in the syllabus. That means at the end of the semester, if you get a C or better, you have demonstrated that you know that content, those learning outcomes from the course. But those 8 outcomes are like equals everything we've done in the course. So that's sort of building along the way. So since we are building these skills along the way, we're practicing them throughout different points in the semester. And that's where the unit learning outcomes come in. So for each unit, we're kind of breaking the learning down into pieces. So in unit 1, we have these 4 unit learning outcomes, and then they correspond with specific student learning outcomes, things you're working on for the whole semester. I say this because I try to be explicit with the learning and try to match things up so that you're not doing busy work, so that you can see how reading something or posting something or doing an assignment or a task should get you some sort of practice with understanding the outcomes for the course. And hopefully that makes sense as we go along. So this week we have our start here. We have our surveys link, and then the readings, and then the multimedia. There's not a lot that you have to do this week, but there's reading. So you want to get started on the reading. Now that's one of the things that you can work ahead on, and I suggest you do, because this is a summer course, is accelerated. That means faster, not easier. So in a regular semester, a 14-week semester, a 3-credit course like this, you can expect to spend up to about 9 hours a week on course content. Since it's accelerated, that means, yeah, you could spend up to 18 hours a week on course content. Now, I do not sit down to try and devise 18 hours a week of work for anyone, because if you're doing 18 hours a week of work, I'm doing 36. So let's keep that in mind. But you need to understand that this is a condensed course, means more work in less time. All right, so this week we have our start here. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. If you looked at the earlier preview, we're gonna go on there. You'll see content. You wanna download the syllabus. You wanna do these surveys. This is some lessons that will be helpful. They just kind of get you thinking. The discussions we'll be having during the semester causes us to have to think a lot. So these are some thinking activities, and they will be helpful, I think, throughout the course as we move on. This is a shortcut to the discussion board area, and this is a link that will take you back. You don't have to go over here to the menu. It'll take you right back into week 1. So here we are back in week 1. And I'm just reminding people. So the first thing you should do is start here. The second thing you should do is, if you didn't do those surveys while you were in the start here, I'm telling you, please get these surveys done. These surveys are really important. We will have some synchronous discussions. And so there's a survey in there so I can try to figure out what is the best time to schedule those synchronous discussions. And then you have the readings. So anything that I could get you that you don't have to pay for, I've provided either a link, or I try to provide a link and a PDF. I can only provide PDFs if that source is free and open to copying, because downloading a PDF and giving it to the students is equivalent to making a copy, and I have to get permission to do that. So if you ever have a problem with any of these links, let me know. But remember, you have the link because I have to get copyright permissions to download a PDF and give it to students. So this is the reading that you want to get started with. You need to pay attention to dates, because even though this says week 1, it goes through Tuesday. So this is the content you want to get read by next week, Tuesday. And just another link to the multimedia. And then I try to give you a look ahead. I don't really give you a look ahead of the assignments. You have that on the syllabus, but I give you a look ahead at the readings. So here's an example of, I have an interview here. If you click on that, it'll take you to the site where you can listen to the interview. But I also was able to get this interview from a database. So I think that makes it okay for me to download the PDF. I checked with the librarian, and I believe she said if it's in the databases, I can share it. So that's why you have the PDF versions of this overview and that interview. Whereas up here, I don't have the PDF versions. So that's my overview of the first week. And what else? I don't know. I think that's it. The virtual office is going to be our place to go. And I strongly suggest you subscribe to the virtual office. I'm going to hit my subscribe button. So this is the place where we simulate in class. People ask questions. And so it's set up based on the work that we're doing. So you can go in, post your questions, post your comments. I will reply to questions there. You can reply to each other question there. If you know the answer, just like class, when you're in a class in real time with other people. So the discussion board area, or the discussion board area, is where we're going to have all of our forums. So here's the virtual office. Here's the multimedia. You can already see the discussion forum, which is not due until next week. That's why you don't have a link to it in this week. But if you go into the discussion board area, you will be able to see things ahead of time. So that's why it's important for you to be focused and clear about what you're working on. What else? Yeah, I think that's all I need to talk about today. And I think this is over 10 minutes, so I apologize, but welcome to the class.